Hello, my beauties, and welcome back to the Gillian Kane Connection podcast. My name is Gillian, and I offer spiritual, personal, and professional growth for the rebel soul. For that person that is willing to challenge the norms and go against the status quo in order to live a life of freedom, authenticity, and meaning. And that's why I've created the 3 stages of the healer's path, which I believe are the 3 stages that we go through in order to reach our highest potential. And those stages are purpose, partnership, and prosperity. Because without navigating those 3 stages, we can't fully live life the way that we desire. To have those soulmate connections, to live our purpose and our dharma by doing the work that we love, that lights up our soul, where we're living each day being our truest version of authentic self, free from the societal constraints and expectations, really able to learn that your unique identity and perspective is needed in the world. To know that what lights you up and what you're passionate about is really what you're here to do and where you're meant to make a meaningful impact in the world and ultimately to leave a lasting legacy. So today I'm just going to go into what it means to be a rebel soul and how this is showing up in your life and how this impacts every facet of your life. And for me, when I really sat down and figured out who my client is, when I took a look at my clients, when I took a look at my own experiences, I was like, what are the common denominators that people come to see me for? That people come and do my sessions, that come to do my workshops, that come to do my programs. What is the common denominator that is within everybody? And everyone is at different stages, I realized, of their own personal soul growth and evolution. And some people are really focused on the stage of relationships in their current life right now. Some people are focused on really trying to understand who the hell that they are and to remove the masks, these self-imposed masks that have been created, to just understand themselves at a deep level and to understand why they're so freaking special, because we all are. Some people are really at that stage of doing their soul work, that have maybe done training in a certain area and are ready to take that next step, or maybe already have their own business by doing that soul work, something that is really being of service to the world in a way that is just uniquely them. And they're really at that place where now they're seeking that abundance and prosperity, and that's what they're looking to manifest. And ultimately, the rebel soul wants it all. They want it all, They want those authentic relationships. They want those soulmate cosmic connections, the people that light them up, the people that they feel a true belonging to. They want to be fully understanding of their own unique, special place in the world and what they're really here to do and how they're here to be of service and to live a life of meaning and prosperity and purpose and freedom. Like freedom, I think, for the rebel soul is probably one of the biggest kind of key desires and traits, right? And that could come in the shape and form of so many different aspects. That could be freedom, i.e., create a life and a business that offers you time freedom, financial freedom. And for some, it is mental freedom and emotional freedom, to escape their own confines that keep them trapped, either repeating unhealthy cycles in life, relationships, habits, behaviors that are stopping them from truly living the most magical life. And ultimately, that's who I'm here to serve. And I just want to go over the 3 stages of the healer's path. So I am the founder of the 3 stages of the healer's path, which, as I mentioned, is purpose, which is stage 1, partnership, stage 2, and prosperity, which is stage 3. And looking at partnership, because every rebel soul desires relationships in their life. And that could be with family, business partners, romantic partners, friendships, every person in their life. And this includes the relationship to themselves. In fact, this includes a relationship to everything. The relationship that they have with the world, with nature, with everything in general. The rebel soul desires relationships that really honor individuality, that honor authenticity, and have mutual respect. They seek connections with people that just embrace their uniqueness and really support their journey of self-discovery and growth, because again, that is one of the biggest traits of a rebel soul, is self-discovery and growth. Like, if you identify with this, then you will constantly be on that path of growing and developing yourself in all of these different areas, because you know that you have huge potential and you'll do whatever it takes to live a life of your dreams. The rebel soul also values like the deepest emotional connections. You know, those relationships that have just understanding, that are built on trust, honesty, and of course, more importantly, communication. You know, the rebel soul may at some points in their life have had challenges with their own levels of emotional communication, but are doing the work to develop their own ability to communicate from an authentic place, from the heart. And that's the way that you can build the most beautiful relationships. The rebel soul craves complete freedom, with respect, I might add, within their relationships. You know, really allowing whoever is in their life to just pursue their passions, their aspirations, and come together with this beautiful, nurturing bond that are just based on shared values and mutual support. Like, there is no space for competition. There is no space for the shadowy aspects that can come out in relationships when it comes to a rebel soul, because they've done the work or are doing the work to address anything that comes up within the relationships, that have enough self-awareness to go, oh, hold on, that's coming up for me. How can I shift that energy? What do I need to do to learn better skills in this area? What part of me is being mirrored back that I need to heal so that I can have the most beautiful relationships in my life, so that I can attract emotionally available, healthy, committed partnerships, so that I can become neutral and less reactive when I get triggered or there's challenges with the people who are close to me. Because we're human, right? And this is part of the rebel soul's journey, is to be able to bring enough self-awareness and have the tools to be able to navigate life's adventures together with the people that they love and they care about, with like the true passion and authenticity that they crave so much. The worst thing in the world for a rebel soul is to not be fully seen or heard by the people that they love. To not be seen, heard, or understood, or feel a sense of belonging or connection to those around them. They know that they are here to cultivate the most wonderful relationships, and they know that relationships are the mirrors to their own soul, and that they're here to teach us so many lessons for our own evolution and our soul's growth. And they look at every relationship from a place of reverence and love and compassion and understanding and honesty. And they are willing to look at themselves and look at the places that they've been hurt in the past by relationships, so that they can shift and transmute anything that is ultimately holding them back from having that deep level of honesty and compassion and unconditional love for everyone around them. And this is not just the people that, you know, are closest to them. This is the relationship that they have to themselves, and the relationship that they're projecting out into the world, like who they actually are. Like, the rebel soul has done their healing or is on their healing journey and putting in the fucking work to be able to have an open heart so that they can treat everyone with mutual respect, no matter who you are or where you are in the world. Even if you're a stranger passing on the street, the ability to know yourself at such a deep level and feel confident and embodied in who you are and your own mission in this world allows you to show up with every type of person and relationship in your life from a place of just truth. And how beautiful is that? Like, if we in the world could do one thing, it is to heal our hearts and know ourselves deeply so that we can treat everyone with the love and respect that we also deserve. And whether that's someone passing you in the street that you'll never see again, where you can just give them a smile, and even if they don't smile back, you don't take it personally. You feel good that you've shared a smile with someone, even if they weren't ready to fully accept that. Like, that wasn't anything personal to you. But you've done the work. You're doing the work to be able to show up as your most beautiful, authentic self without fear of judgment, without fear of abandonment, without fear of rejection, no matter what, and no matter who you're with. And be able to communicate your needs, your feelings, and what you need from other people with ease. And that is what a rebel soul desires in their relationships. And then we go on to purpose and prosperity. Now, my beautiful rebel soul, you don't just want these cosmic relationships. You don't just want these soulmate, fucking earth-shattering relationships and connections so that you feel safe and held. You also want a career that aligns with your own unique passions, your values, and a sense of purpose. You're looking for a life that has meaning. You want to be able to leave a legacy that is so uniquely imprinted with you, your own unique perspective, your unique expression, your unique ability to innovate, and the personal growth that you've done. Because we are all here to share our unique essence with the world. And I call that soul work. Like, it is the work that lights up our soul. And our purpose is who we are. It's actually not what we do, it's who we are. So discovering your purpose is to understand yourself at a deep level and become the most authentic, free version of yourself. And to be able to trust what is true for you and what isn't. And the only way that you can do that is to learn to connect to yourself. Get out of your head and into your heart and start speaking to your soul. That's how you get to know yourself at a deep level. And then where that turns into your soul work is because when you know yourself, you start to live a life of purpose. You start to kind of figure out what your purpose on this earth is when you're being authentically you, right? And then when that happens, you can start to discover what your soul gifts are, what your soul work is, and what you're actually meant to do. And for a lot of rebel souls, you value autonomy and you value independence and you value freedom in your work. So, you might at this moment be working in a corporate environment, but you're really meant to do something that's for you. Instead of feeding the beast of corporate and making someone else rich, you're really here to shake shit up. And you're here to challenge the status quo and make a meaningful impact. You crave authenticity in every single area of your life. From your relationships, to your friendships, to your career path, to just who you are in general. So, a part of the healer's path is prosperity. And that is about knowing yourself at the most deepest level, trusting your intuition, trusting your soul nudges, learning to communicate with yourself so that you are being presented with those opportunities that resonate with your perspective, that resonate with your unique talents, that might be left wing, but generally might go against traditional expectations, or you not conforming to those traditional ways of working. And you're really looking for a career that like empowers you to live with passion and purpose, and also making a positive difference in the world while staying true to who you are. So this is the third stage of the healer's path for the rebel soul, is knowing yourself and have done the inner work to know yourself so deeply that your purpose starts to emerge, because your purpose is just you being you. Away from the noise, away from the expectations, away from the limiting beliefs, the things that you've grown up believing you had to be, and connecting to yourself. That's when your purpose comes out, when you live authentically. And then that's what leads you to being able to follow those soul hints that are leading you in the right direction, following your passions that will eventually lead you to the work that you're meant to do. Because we all are here to make a difference in the world. We're all here to be of service. And this is part of your own soul's path. This is part of your evolution. And it's being able to have the confidence and the self-trust to follow those soul nudges, even though they might be so against the grain and just not make any friggin' sense. Like, are you able to take a leap of faith? Because it will lead to magic. It will lead to magic. And this is so important for the rebel soul, We really have, as a rebel soul, like these main desires of life. And if you can sit here and go, I'm not fulfilling any of these, but these are truly what I want, then you are on this path. And the reason that you're not fulfilling any of these true desires is because you're not doing the inner work. And that's where it starts. Start doing the inner work. Start to connect to your soul and your intuition. Like, that is the crux of it. Of course, it's learning the tools and the techniques, learn to clear energy, learning to understand that you are a multidimensional soul living this human existence. And when you can start connecting to the magic that's around you, all of these desires will be fulfilled. The freedom that you want to live life on your own terms, like free from societal constraints and expectations. You will have that. You will be creating your own path. Like, you'll be trailblazing something that is so uniquely you, that no one's ever done before. Because no one's lived your life. No one's had the experiences that you've had. No one's overcome the things that you've overcome. No one's lived all the lifetimes that you have and had the ancestral line that you've inherited. So creating a life of freedom, if you're not feeling that you have a life of freedom right now, then there's still some more work to do. Another desire of the rebel soul is authenticity. Like, expressing authenticity is so crucial for the rebel soul. Like, you want to express yourself fully and unapologetically. And this might be something that you have really struggled with in your life. I know I did. And that could come out in expression of your own feelings and emotions, your own needs. That could be creative blocks. I mean, it comes out in so many different ways of where we're not truly being authentic to ourselves, where we're people pleasing. So many ways. Where we're doing things for other people and not truly what we want. I know I've been there. And the rebel soul also desires a life with purpose, a life with meaning. Like, pursuing the endeavors that align with your deepest values and aspirations. Like, are you at this place where you're like, What is the meaning of life? Have you started to question the status quo? Have you started to question you, who you are, what you're doing, the habits? You know, I know I did. Is this really what life has to offer? Me working for a place that didn't fill me up and then living for the weekend and partying? Is that really what this life is? I knew in my heart it wasn't. And I did the inner work to figure it out. Because the answers are inside ourselves. Like they're never outside of ourselves. And that is the biggest thing with the rebel soul and doing the inner healing work, is that you will discover you become your own oracle. So you can tell bullshit from the truth. So you can stop believing the lies that you're being told and being shown by the world. And you're here, honestly, to trailblaze your own path. And the reason that like you might not know what that is right now is because no one else has done it. Because this is something that you're creating. Like you are creating it. You can create your own reality. And this is something that I love to help my clients to figure out. It's a journey. It's a process. And it's where embodiment meets enlightenment. And then adventure. The rebel soul, gosh, you seek adventures. You seek new experiences. You seek new challenges. Like it's like essential for you. Like you really crave excitement. You crave exploration and you crave growth. So you're not afraid to like invest in yourself because you know that there's something beautiful at the other side of it. Like you're not afraid to go to these deep places. Maybe once you were, but you're not anymore. And you want to make an impact. Like this is one of the biggest things for the rebel soul, is making an impact in the world. Like it's such a fundamental desire for them. You know, whether that's through creativity, innovation, activism, entrepreneurship, healing, like using your unique gifts and talents and your own life experience and your passions to create work that lights up your frigging soul. Making an impact to the lives of others, making an impact to the world in some way, whether that's environmental, whether that's with the animals, whether that is like whatever you're passionate about, that's where it's at. Whether it's through art, whether it's through music, you have something unique. We just need to get it out of you and figure out what that is. But your soul knows. We just have to learn to speak to the soul. That's it. Sounds easy, right? And the other thing that is so fundamental to the rebel soul is building genuine connections. Like really finding your tribe and fostering that sense of belonging. Because for a lot of rebel souls out there, this might be something that they've never felt growing up. You know, a lot of rebel souls are the black sheep of the family. They've never really felt like they belong. They maybe didn't feel a connection to their family. You know, something along the way happened where maybe they became hyper independent. Maybe they learned not to trust people. But that's what their soul craves. They crave deep emotional connection. But first, they have to be able to foster that deep emotional connection to themselves. Intimacy. Into me, you see. And then, of course, the legacy, you know? Like the rebel soul, they want to leave that lasting legacy. Like that reflects their unique perspective and contributions. Like that inspires others. Like inspires others to embrace their own authenticity and rebel spirit. Like that's what you're here for. You are an independent thinker. You really are. Like you know, people may already know this about you. You know, you may know this about yourself. Like you really potentially think differently to a lot of people in your life. You think independently, you think critically, you start to question authority, you're questioning conventional wisdom, and you're not afraid to challenge that status quo and, like I said, forge your own path. You're at that place where you're like, this doesn't really feel right. There's something else. Like, I know there's something else here for me. Like, what is that? And like, let's go find it. You know, rebels definitely probably fall under the category of nonconformity. Did you have issues with challenging authority when you were younger by any chance? And this isn't everyone, of course, but like nonconformity can come in just that need to live as authentically and true to themselves as possible. And that can be really difficult when we live in a world with other people's opinions and the news fostering certain beliefs on people and the collective consciousness. Going against the norm, and that's in every aspect. That could be around casual dating, that could be around sleeping around, that could be eating like junk food, that could be smoking, drinking, like the things that are really fucking bad for us at a soul level, but are classified as normal in our society. That's what I mean about nonconformity. You are the person that's willing to be like, no, that doesn't work for me. I don't believe that. If that's what you want to do, that's cool. But I want something different for myself. And you're getting to that place, or you are at that place where you're like, yeah, this is my truth and I own it. And how freeing is that? How freeing is that? That is freeing as fuck. And the other thing that I always see with rebel souls is creative expression. Now, that doesn't mean that you can draw, like, it's just how you express yourselves. And that could be through so many different ways. How you express yourself through the way that you speak. It could be through art, it could be through music, it could be through writing, it could be cooking, it could be the way that you come up with ideas, the way that you are creating all these different ways of doing things. It could be the way that you look, how you adorn yourself. Creative expression goes so hand in hand with the rebel soul. Like, you need to be able to express yourself in the way that you want to. And anything that kind of like folds you into a box just feels terrible. Individuality is just the key for you, because like we are here to be individuals. You're not here to be a sheep, you're here to be a leader. And often you want to be a leader for change. Like, you have a passion for change, and I know you have a desire to make an impact on the world. And whatever that is that you're passionate about, that's a key to what your soul work is. That's a key to what your purpose is. That's a key to what you're here to do in the world. And you're not afraid to take risks and stand up for what you believe in. You have this level of fearlessness, of this bravery, in the face of adversity or opposition, even if that means going against the grain, even that means facing criticism. And listen, you will have worked your ass to get here, because often to become fearless and to become brave, you need to have gone through your own adversity and have worked through and done so much healing on yourself to know yourself at this deep level of where you then become fearless. You could have at one point been crippled by the fear of criticism, crippled by the fear of judgment, but you transcend that now. You've shifted and you've cleared that. And it's like you need to express who you are and your opinion. And you also know that like it's okay that other people have different opinions, and you're not going to take that personally. And this is where the authenticity comes back in again, that value of honesty, of integrity, and staying true to themselves, even if it means like, kind of being misunderstood or a bit unpopular. You have to live authentically. And I also find that a lot of rebel souls, they kind of go against, like, they've just got this like moral compass of anything that they perceive as unjust, oppressive, or limiting. Like, in your own life and with others, like, you really strive to break free from those constraints and really live life on your own terms, embracing your unique identity, your unique perspective, and helping other people to do the same. Now, of course, that all sounds amazing. And for some of you out there, you'd be like, yeah, I am all those things. And for others of you, you may aspire to be those and are on the path to fully embodying those amazing traits. But like I said, the three stages of the healer's path, there are different trials and tribulations that we have to go through in order to grow as a soul, to feel fulfilled personally, professionally, and in partnership. And many of the times, part of our soul journey is to experience or have negative experiences that are really there to help us grow, like are here for us to transcend into something that is positive and into something that we are then able to help others with. That's the journey. And the rebel soul may have experienced many occasions of being rejected or alienated or being misunderstood by society, their peers, their family, their friends, things that are just of how they are, for potentially having unconventional beliefs, behaviors, or choices. A lot of people have gone through this feeling of abandonment and rejection in their life, and it's something that they've had to heal or are still healing. And I think I mentioned this one before, but a lot of rebel souls, to get to this place of aspiration, of embodiment, possibly have had some kind of level of conflict with authority, rebelling against authority figures or oppressive systems at some point in their life. And again, a lot of this could be from childhood. A lot of these things are created in our childhood, within our family systems, within our schooling systems, because it's these are our core wounds as a rebel soul that you're here to transcend and heal, so that you can have it all. But life would be too easy if, we had it all figured out, right, when we were born. Fortunately, that is not the soul plan. And, a lot of rebel souls have experienced some level of feeling isolated or lonely or disconnected from the world, from others, from their family growing up. Maybe they've been misjudged or stereotyped. Perhaps they've been judged as being rebellious or troublemakers or just different. Because, the people that are here to make big change are different. Not everyone is able and willing or have agreed on a soul level to undertake the work and the evolutionary journey that you're going through, you're taking, to live that legacy, to do your soul work, to live a life of meaning and fulfillment with soulmate connections. Not everyone is willing to do that work, and they will stay stuck. But that's not you. That's not you. And again, in your past, you might have struggled to find acceptance, again, and belonging in certain environments. You might have felt the need to conform over being an individual. It could be something that you've really struggled with in your life. Or perhaps you've experienced massive overwhelm or exhaustion or burnout. And a lot of rebel souls, a lot of sensitives feel this way when they're trying to live a life that is not aligned to their uniqueness. It's exhausting living in conformity. It's exhausting not being your true authentic self, or feeling that you can't express yourself the way that you want to, of holding back, of not being seen and heard for who you are. No wonder you're burnt out. No wonder you're exhausted. No wonder you're pushing and you're forcing and you're trying to prove. Because you're not truly connected to yourself. You're not opening up to your true purpose and your unique gifts. You're trying to fit yourself into a square hole that just doesn't fit you. It's time to figure out who you really are and embrace your uniqueness. But obviously, along the way, like a lot of people that are on this journey have really been grappling with like internal conflicts, self doubts about your identity, about your purpose, about your beliefs. When you've got the face of societal pressure or criticism or what your parents want you to do or what's expected of you, and going against the grain of everyone else isn't easy. It's not easy, it's challenging. But you can find strength and resilience in embracing your authenticity. Like staying true to your principles and transforming those challenges into opportunities for growth and empowerment. Like that's what you're here to do as a rebel soul. And you're here to not only awaken yourself, you're here to awaken others. And that is the healer's path that you are on. That's what you're here to do. That is your soul journey. That is where you're meant to grow and evolve. And that's where I've been put on this earth to help. To help you understand your unique gifts, to heal the parts of you that are holding you back from your true self, from living your truth, from creating the most cosmic, passionate soulmate relationships filled with honesty and trust and integrity, from trailblazing your own fucking path in the world, from not working that 9 to 5, from creating your own business and living a life of freedom, from doing work wherever you want in the world. It's what we all want. But why does not everyone go after it? Because they're scared. And because they're not willing to put in the work that it takes. The inner work, the inner authority work, the inner healing work that it takes to become the person that can have it all. But you can. You're a rebel fucking soul. You were born for this shit. You were born for this shit. I don't know anyone else that is meant to do some amazing things in the world, that is meant to literally have all, that is never going to get stuck in a mediocre life, that is going to accept less than they deserve. There is no one in the world that is more destined to do great things than a rebel soul. You're questioning everything. And when you start to fully embrace who you are, the rest will follow. The rest will follow. Those relationships, your purpose, the opportunities, the internal authority, the ability to make decisions, the ability to see magic, the ability to become your own oracle, the ability to manifest what you want in the world, to become a trailblazer in something that is just you, that feels easeful, that is no longer forcing you to be anything that you're not. And that is your soul path. That's your evolution to freedom. And I'm here to help you every step of the way. So, my beautiful rebel souls, if you're ready, if you're on your path, if you're on your healing path to purpose, prosperity, and partnership, and need support, then I've created my unique framework, the pathway for your soul's evolution in whatever stage of the healer's path you're on. And there's so many different ways you can work with me, to connect to your soul, to find the answers that you're looking for. And whether that's us working together one-on-one in a beautiful private mentorship, or if it's connecting with me in one of my group programs, there's so many ways that I can help facilitate your transformation for you to become the person that you were always meant to be. All the details of how you can work with me are below, and if you're feeling called to this journey with me, then I can't wait to meet you, or I can't wait to go on this journey of transformation with you. And I'm so excited to see what's on the other side. I love you, and keep being fucking you. I'll see you on the flip side, guys.